I'm just.
Hey, what's happening, y'all? What's happening? It's Stephanie Hypes here, and I'm here on Know Your Role, our SmackDown recap show, post show, whatever you want to call it. Miss Krssi Luv looks a little different tonight. She got really handsome. Just kidding. Miss Krssi has a prior event, so we have the wonderful, the talented. It's Justin Ritch here. What's up? He is covering for Krssi. How you doing, Justin?
I'm doing fantastic. How you doing, friend?
I am wonderful because you are here.
Oh, don't make me blush on camera.
I'm just saying. Me and Justin have been mutuals on Twitter for God knows how long. He's one of my favorite accounts to follow. He's opinionated. He is unique in his opinions. He does not follow anybody, and I appreciate that. And that's all you can ever ask for, right? Is genuine opinions, not following the crowd, and he is one of them. Please go follow him on all socials. We'll have him plug at the end. But he is filling in for Miss Krssi. And what a SmackDown it was. It was night one of the WWE Draft. We love draft season, whether it's NFL, WWE. I'm sure they planned it that way on purpose. Did you watch night two at all of the NFL draft, Justin?
So I'm gonna be dead ass honest. Like, if it's not my team, the New York Giants, I kind of don't care about the draft. Well, with the exception of the first round, and even the first round, I'm hitting up my boys like, all right, you guys are more tapped into college football. Explain to me if this is a good pick or bad pick.
Right. So same. I'm a Raiders fan, and so unless something's going on with the Raiders and they make a horrible pick or a bad pick or a good pick, whatever it might be, I really don't care. My husband might be yelling in the background about a horrible Bears pick or a good Bears pick. Who knows? But yeah,
It's just horrible timing on my end because it's like you got the Knicks are in the playoffs, the Rangers are the top seed in hockey, the Yankees are in full force. We got beautiful wrestling with WWE. It's like the last thing that's on my mind is the NFL draft. I ain't gonna lie.
Are the Knicks gonna win?
We are gonna win game 4. I filed my grievance at the game 3. Joel Embiid. I'm gonna keep this PG, but you're gonna get the heart real bad.
I'm hoping for you that they pull it out. I'm not loyal to really any NBA team. We root for the Suns. I'm in Arizona. I was a big Kobe fan, so I followed the Lakers for quite some time. But I always root for an underdog. Root for an underdog.
You gotta root for an underdog. It's fun.
Me too. Absolutely. Anyway, we are here for wrestling. I just had to catch up on some sports stuff with Justin here. We are here for wrestling, and night one of the draft came with some surprises, came with absolutely no movement whatsoever in a couple of the rounds. So I'm interested to know what your thoughts were. Obviously, you guys are in the comments. Welcome. Thank you for being here. I see some familiar faces and names. Thank you for showing up. As we're giving our opinions on the draft rounds, obviously let us know how you guys are feeling. You guys might notice my space looks a little different. I had posted that I had moved houses 2 weeks ago. And so I actually have my own space for podcasting now. Look at that. Look at that. So I'm still building it. It's still
chakras
coming together. I call it my women's wrestling shrine because I'll be honest, it's mostly women's wrestling stuff, guys. I'm sorry. But I'm not sorry. But I have more to go up on the walls and stuff, but we're getting it. Anyway, so SmackDown kicked off. I had tweeted out in all confidence that Roman Reigns was going to be the number 1 overall draft pick, hands down. And the first thing that happens on SmackDown tonight is Paul Heyman announcing that Roman Reigns has withdrawn himself from the 2024 NFL, WWE Draft. That's right, Roman's going into the NFL, guys. No, just kidding. He has withdrawn himself from the draft, and I was like, oh, just kidding. Obviously, he's taking a break. Don't know where he's going to end up, but what do you think about that, Justin? Him not being a part of the draft for the first time in, I don't even know, what, 10 years or something like that?
Something like that. But at the same time, man, when you're the tribal chief, you get to do whatever you want. Yes, that means using PTO on top of your PTO with unlimited PTO, which is basically what he did. Roman basically said, now I do what I want. And Heyman just had to regurgitate that on behalf of the tribal chief. So
yeah,
it's Roman's world. We're just existing in it.
It is what it is, y'all. He doesn't want to be part of it. He's not part of it. Something else new that happened during this draft, which would have been smart in years past, especially for the women's titles, is that all champions are locked. So whatever brand they're on currently as champion, they stay there. With the exception of the women's tag team titles, they are still eligible to be drafted. However, all other champions are locked. Whatever show they are on, they will stay on for now. So, I mean, this would have been very helpful in that very controversial title swap, 3 years ago?
That's exactly what came to mind. Like with Becky and Charlotte and that whole Sonya Deville debacle is like, is this the reason why they're like, you know what? Y'all just gonna stay on your shows. Bailey, you're staying put. Cody, you're staying put. That's that. We don't want another incident of this ever again.
Well, that's the thing, though. So they finally changed the women's titles where you could swap them and it wouldn't be that big of a deal. They're not branded to that specific show. They were the Raw Women's Champion and SmackDown Women's Champion, and now they're no longer that, right? They're the World Women's Champion and WWE Women's Champion. So technically, they could have switched if they really wanted, without any repercussions. But at this point, this would have been helpful 3 years ago. Just lock your champions down, but whatever.
I like this because think of it like this too. Like not only do you keep your champions in place, you just spent the last 2 weeks making a big deal about getting new tag team titles. Now imagine R-Truth and Awesome Truth and was it Grayson Waller, Austin Theory, they get these brand new tag team titles and then all of a sudden they get drafted to opposite brands and you're just like, wait, so which titles is on what show? It's like, you know what? We're going to make this easy. You stay put, you stay put at the end.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. I know some people don't like it. I know some people kind of wanted certain people on other shows, but who knows when they lose the titles, where that comes in. The other thing that kind of confused me about it is that they said some of the injured people are not eligible, i.e. Rhea Ripley and CM Punk. Actually, CM Punk, I think, is eligible on Monday. Rhea Ripley is like not shown as eligible, but then they drafted Seth Rollins tonight. So I'm like,
gray area.
Are they? Or are they
area.
not eligible?
Thank you.
So that doesn't quite make sense to me why some injured people are and some injured people are not. But it is what it is. Either way, once Roman Reigns was announced that he was not eligible, we went ahead and went into the contract signing between AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes. It was a typical contract signing, kind of. No one attacked anybody or put anyone through a table. So that's nice. However, what I love about this is that it's very unpredictable. Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles haven't touched each other. This was actually said in the segment that this is a brand new feud, brand new fight. And while Cody Rhodes is familiar with Dusty, he is not familiar with Cody, as Cody pointed out. So I have like zero expectations for this match and feud. Are you excited about it? Are you, how are you feeling about it?
I'm feeling good about it. It's two Georgia boys about to battle it out for the title in France. Like, can we really like detour this title match to Atlanta somehow? That way we get like a very split crowd. But I mean, it's really cool when it's like, wait, they haven't touched each other yet. Pause. But yeah, like it's a fresh canvas where it's like, you know what, Cody, now we get to establish your title reign. AJ, you've literally done everything. People love you, people respect you. So
Yeah.
now it's more of, all right, let's see how this goes and plays out. But like you said, like I'm going in with an open mind because it's not like, well, so and so should win or should go this way, or we've seen this plenty of times. It's like, nah, I don't think we've ever gotten this.
No. Cody even literally mentioned it in the segment that they have never touched inside of a ring. So I'm excited to see what happens, what they can build. Jeffrey says 2 former NWA champions going in a feud, and Georgia natives. So yeah, I mean, they both have their own long history in pro wrestling. Somehow they've never touched each other, which is kind of insane in this day and age. Usually, either whether it's in the Indies or in WWE or somewhere, they have had some kind of match.
Well, when you think about it, when AJ came to the WWE, that was going around WrestleMania 32 season, right? And that's when
Mhm.
Cody was kind of on his way out with the Stardust stuff.
Yes.
So if they didn't touch each other then post that, Cody leaves. Oh, no, you did not just
Sorry.
do that. No, you did not
Shout
just
out
do
to
that.
Stardust. Go on. Sorry.
But yeah, so Cody rolled out to go roam the Indies before AEW around that time when AJ started working his way up in WWE, going in the title picture, facing Roman Reigns in 2016 and whatnot. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's been years since Cody had been back, and then since Cody's been back, he's been primarily on Raw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it's crazy. So I'm excited for it. Are y'all excited for it in the chat? It seems like you guys are actually.
Seems like you guys are very excited in the chat.
I'm
Hey yo.
gonna need y'all to calm down. No, but so we'll see how that goes. They have the contract signing. Cody Rhodes starts making his exit, and all of a sudden you hear "Time to play the game." And Hunter, aka Paul Levesque, makes his way out with the cards for the first round draft picks. He asked Cody Rhodes to go ahead and join him, which he did. And so we get to the first round of the draft. Now, I absolutely love the first pick. SmackDown had the first pick of the night, and they selected Bianca Belair, the EST of WWE, as the round one first. I'm saying this wrong. The first overall pick of the WWE 2024
There you
draft.
go.
Which is amazing in itself because only 2 women have now done this, where they've been the first overall pick of a WWE draft in WWE history. So congratulations to her. That is amazing. And if that does not tell you how they feel about this woman, where they place this woman, in the forefront of the current roster, you should now know. If you didn't already, you should now know. So congratulations to Bianca. She was number 1, and I actually have the banner. So this one actually took me by surprise, and this is not me hating or anything, because y'all know how much I love me some Jey Uso. However, I was completely shocked because he was the second pick, for Raw's first pick, the second pick of the first round. Now, I had him going in first round, so do not get me wrong. However, I had him going 4th, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
It's not showing. Why isn't it showing?
Because even the graphics in shock. Like, really? Second overall?
I'm trying to put it up, y'all. It's not showing that. Anyway, so go on.
It's like you got Hall of Famers, legends, and then the Yeet Master Jey Uso goes second overall, first to Raw, and it's like,
again, I'm not hating. I'm happy for him. The reason why I'm surprised is because I really thought Seth Rollins was actually there. It is. I really thought Seth Rollins was actually going to be the number 2 pick, or the number 1 for Raw, if you will, because he is Seth Rollins. He literally just dropped your biggest title. However, some people in the comments on Twitter mentioned maybe it's because he's injured, he's recovering, so his stock dropped a little bit. Who knows? Anyway, either way, I'm happy for Jay. That's an amazing position to be in. Again, if you ever want to know where the company's standing is on certain people, look where they're drafted. See where they're drafted. And Jay, I know, is a top merch seller, so he is up there. He is up there. Yeet. Number 2. The number 3 pick is he's brand new, but they drafted him in the first round, and I can't be happier for him. He is him. Carmelo Hayes was number 3. He is headed to SmackDown. Good for him, man. Good for him. Not surprised. Surprised, but not surprised. He is an amazing talent, and he is the future. We will get to the main event in a little bit here, but he's just incredible. What did you think of this pick?
He is Himothy 316. Like Melo does not miss, and he did not miss this draft pick. Like if you look at these first 3 picks, and even if you include the 4th pick, people of color going first round, a black woman going number 1 overall, Samoan King going number 2, first overall to Raw. Then you follow it up with Melo. So SmackDown went back to back black excellence. Like that tells you everything you need to know right there.
Absolutely. And for the 4th pick in round 1 is the visionary. He is the evolutionary. He is Seth freaking Rollins. He was the 4th pick overall in round 1. Congratulations to him. He is headed back to Raw. I mean, it's his show. If we're just being honest, Raw is his show. It is Monday Night Rollins. I'm not surprised. I do like things to be switched up every now and then, so sometimes I wish they'd go over to SmackDown. However, they're about to head to Netflix, and I'm sure Netflix wants big names. So again, I'm not surprised that Rollins went. How do you feel about this one? Justin, are you there?
I am. Sorry about that.
There you are.
Look at that. I was about to hype up.
Sleep, sir.
No, I did not. I was about to be like, Seth, for the love of God. And then all of a sudden, whoever was the WWE hacker got into the computer. It was like, no, redacted. Don't go there. All I was going to say was, Seth, use your PTO. I do not want to see you near a wrestling ring for a while. Heal your body.
Yes.
Becky, chain him to the house.
Yes.
Babysit.
Look, listen. Seth has been getting props and flowers and everything for the last 2 months, especially after Mania. I think people are really realizing that he was kind of the glue holding all of it together. He was a big part of a lot of different stories and moments. The man is a workhorse. I think he is severely underappreciated by the general online community and sometimes. And so I think it's taken for granted, I guess is probably a better way to say it.
Yeah.
Because he is always there and he's reliable and he puts on great matches with whoever. He puts on great feuds with whoever. But because he's been around so long, I think people do take him for granted. And so I think I've finally seen people go, shit, man, like he really is the reason why Mania was great, right? Like in so many ways. So yeah.
I'm glad y'all coming around to it now. And it unfortunately took an injury for y'all to be like, oh yeah, that's right. It was like, bro, he's been doing it. Yes, he's not as flashy as others. Yes, he may not be the greatest person on the mic ever. He may not be the greatest wizard in the ring ever. But guess what? The man is solid. He's consistent. He shows up. He works his ass off.
Yes.
Every single time. This man injured his knee right after Rumble. And worked his ass off to make sure he did not miss Mania. And then you saw him predominantly during Mania weekend. It's like, bro, give him his flowers while he's here, man.
And I don't think anyone knew. That's the good thing about this new era so far I'm liking is that they're not, a lot of stuff isn't leaking. A lot of internal information isn't leaking as much. Nobody knew, I think, the severity of what Rollins was battling through. Like we knew he got injured and they're like, oh, he's injured, but he should be back in time for WrestleMania. And he was, right?
He was.
I don't think we knew to the extent though, like how much pain he was like kind of working through in that, which is kind of insane when you see that video and his leg just like flops over like this. And it's like, oh.
Yeah, it's like we guessed because of the fact of the nature of the injury was, if I'm not mistaken, it was like multiple knee ligaments, but it wasn't like the main one that was going to cost him Mania. But even to come back from that is like, you're not going to be 100%. But again, wrestling fans, sometimes we just take it for granted and kind of overlook it. Where it's like, okay, he's back, he's cleared. That means he's 100% healthy. It's like,
Yes.
I don't think he's 100%. Maybe he's like 80, 85.
Like
maybe he's like 70, but
70.
he's good enough.
I would say 70. That man fought through to make sure he put Drew over. He was part of Cody's big moment. He was a big part of Cody's big moment. Like, he was literally his shield. And that you can't overlook that. And when you think about where Cody and Seth came from in their feud to that moment, it's poetic, honestly. It truly is. And so
one had a busted leg, the other had a broken titty. What is this, like a walking game of Operation?
But we did it. But
it's
anyway,
like, we did it. Can I go home now?
Right. And I go to Justin's point, Seth, take your time off, man. Recover. And I mean, like, recover. Like, don't rush back. Like, take your time, be with your family, just recover. And so we'll see.
Meniscus, I don't want to see you till SummerSlam.
Correct. Please take the time. Like, I think they can hold it down without him on Raw for some months. I think we're good to go. So after the first round concluded, Cody's standing there, and all of a sudden you hear Carmelo Hayes' music hit, and he comes out, and to a great ovation, by the way. I absolutely love the way they've been introducing NXT people by bringing them before they're called up, and like bringing them in an important way where they're actually showcasing them. You get to know them. So that way, if you're not familiar with them in NXT, you get more familiar with them. I think it's also helping that you have main roster talent going down to NXT, because then you have, main roster or, Raw and SmackDown people now going, oh, let me go watch this NXT thing so I can see my favorite wrestler down there. I think that's also helping introduce people to some of these new and upcoming talents, where it's not a complete, like, who is this? When their music hits and come out. And I think they've done a great job presenting Carmelo beforehand, where everyone knows who he is at this point. And so he got a great ovation coming out. He basically said, I'm here, I'm him. And I, when I shoot, I rarely miss, or I don't miss, he said, excuse me. And he's like, if I was to take a shot, right out the gate, why not right at you, Cody? And, Cody's not one to back down from a challenge. So he said, all right, challenge accepted. And they were scheduled. They are now the main event of SmackDown. Carmelo Hayes versus Cody Rhodes. Carmelo just got drafted 10 seconds ago, and he already has a title match.
But a hell of a statement. Number 3 overall, the first guy drafted to SmackDown. You come out with the top champion, with the boss, Triple H, right there as well. You call your shot, and you get a match with the guy in the main event. Himothy, man.
I love it. Can we just do a hashtag Himothy? How about, what do you think, y'all? Hashtag Himothy. I'm absolutely loving it. Himothy316. If they make that a shirt, y'all better give Justin his checks.
Give both of us.
And my apologies. I said title match. I meant he's in the main event with the champion. It is a future title match. This will definitely be touched back on one day.
I was about to say, there's levels to it. There's levels unless this is AEW. Then everyone gets a title shot.
Here we go. Here we go.
There we go.
Himothy316, y'all.
Run it up.
I love it. You need to get your
Melo deserves.
You need to get your checks if they.
And Melo needs to drop. Melo and Jade, y'all need to drop the workout routine, because y'all were looking just scrumptious. Like, come on, what is the secret?
All of them, man. I go to the gym and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna lift this dumbbell over here. And
I worked out today. I lifted. I saw Jade walk in with Bianca, and it's like, you make me want to go back to the gym now. This is not fair. God's playing favorites.
Like, I don't get it. Like, I just need someone. Like, I need someone to hold my hand and be like, this is what you do on this machine, and this is how it works, and this is how you get great thighs. I'm like, oh, perfect. Thanks. That's what I need. I need that person to guide me through the gym, because So everyone's like, go get a personal trainer. I'm like, okay.
That person exists. That person's name is Jade Cargill.
Correct. I'm like, Jade, just drop the fitness book already, please. We're struggling out here. So, so the main event is made. It would be Carmelo Hayes versus Cody Rhodes, and that kind of wraps up your first round. After that, we see LWO coming out, featuring Carlito, Zalinas. Oh my God.
Anything for Zalinas.
Correct. LWO, and then they make their way to the ring. They're trying to figure out who took out Dragon Lee. Who would do that? Who? Well, our friends from Legado Fantasma. I probably said that wrong. Fantasma?
Legado del Fantasma.
Fantasma. Thank you so much. This is why we have Justin here. Legado del Fantasma come out, and they say they have something to show Ray. What is it? I don't know. Where they then show some backstage footage of the attack of Dragon Lee. And lo and behold, who was the one to attack him? The Frode Apple friend himself, Carlito. Oh my gosh.
Can we challenge this footage? I have so many questions. Like, I know Carlito did it, but god damn it. Who got this grainy footage? And why is this not in the NXT parking lot?
Why is it not in the parking lot? Why is it so grainy when you have these 3D cameras rolling around? So, but that specific camera is just shot. Just bad. I don't know, guys.
If the clips don't fit, you must have quit.
Hashtag free the apple. So it looks like Carlito is the one, and he's in the ring going, "Oh, me? What? Oh my god!" And then he's like, "Oh, keep watching." And then they keep showing him attacking him. It's a whole thing, and then all of LWO's like, "What the f is going on, guys? What?" And they all look at Carlito, and before they can turn, Carlito pushes them over and escapes from the ring. So now I need to know, Justin, is Carlito with Legado del Fantasma? Or is he on his own in this mutiny?
As much as I love this Latino Civil War, because I'm just seeing this amazing faction versus faction warfare on TV on a weekly basis. Carlito, man, this hurts my heart. Like, really, dude. But then again, it's like, yo, what did Dragon Lee say to him to piss him off?
I don't think it was what Dragon Lee said. I think he feels Dragon Lee.
Because Carlito threw him like a bag of rice and then ran the hell out of the ring and the damn arena. It's like, he said, hey, yo. And then meanwhile, Santos is sitting there like, I told you, man. I told you.
He's already like, I told you. You know, I think what it is, I think Carlito was a little jealous. I think he feels Dragon Lee came in and Ray started giving him all the attention and kind of saying like, yeah, you're my protege. You know what I mean? Like, you're it. You're the next Rey Mysterio. And Carlito was like, okay, I came out in Puerto Rico. I came out for you guys. Made my comeback. I did all of this for you. And now look.
Yeah, Dragon like the Mania match. It's like, nah, we're gonna put Dragon Lee in that match. And Carlito's like,
that was crazy.
Really?
And Andrade.
And then Dragon Lee gets injured, and then what? Andrade gets it. So you know what? Carlito's like, you know what? Dominic was probably right. This is all Rey Mysterio's fault. Like, bro.
I feel like he's working with Dominic Mysterio at this point. I don't even know if he's with Legado. I actually think he's with Dominic Mysterio at this point.
Yeah, like if I would have injured God damn. If I would have injured Dragon, all right, so Dragon Lee. If I would have injured Andrade, what next? You're gonna get J-Lo to wrestle for me instead? Like, this is what we're doing, Ray? My phone calls go on D&D?
He would have brought back Fandango.
Oh my god. Then Carlito would have been 1000% like, no, fight Ray too. Fandango. Oh my god. Rhythmless Nation, really?
Correct. He said green apples are better than red apples. Oh.
That's fighting words.
Jeffrey. Jeffrey. Anyway, I guess we'll see where this goes. I mean, Legado was laughing at them. Zelina looked hurt, pissed, upset. She even tweeted out, "I'm sick of this."
I responded to her like, you know what you need to do.
I did too. I did too. I was like, leave them all and go find yourself on Zade and take over everything. Thanks. Bye. I said that. We'll see how it goes. After that, you then see Nick Aldis come out, and Tiffany Stratton says, Toodles, hi, Stiffy time. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm watching that set. So then, was that a good rendition? I tried.
That was. I was going to say, let me see your manager. I was like, damn it, that's Chelsea Green. Wrong one.
Wrong one. You got to keep them straight, Justin. So then she's like, I earned a title match. Did you not see what I did last week? And he's like, actually, I was going to put you in the back of the line, but someone asked me not to do that. And so I didn't. And she's like, okay. And he's like, well, so tonight you're going to go against Naomi and decide who gets the title match at Backlash against Bayley. And she's like, okay, well, who did that? And then Bayley comes out of nowhere and says, it was me, you idiot. And so then, so they made the match.
Bayley made it known, like, I am the champ.
I'm the champ.
Let's see, because you ruined my match with Naomi. So now you're going to run it back. And if you lose, then you earned it. Then you earned that ass whip. But if you win, then I'm going to beat your ass. But she said it in a nice way. Because, Bayley,
I would love to
come around. She's come full circle.
I would love Bayley to be like, I'll beat your ass. Like, I'd love Bayley to just say that, but she won't because she's Bayley. But she did say, if you win, then you get to find out what happens when you attack the champ, the role model, me. So that match is set for tonight, Trinity versus Tiffany Stratton, and whoever wins gets the title match against Bayley at Backlash. Dun, 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 dun.
The plot thickens.
Next, we have two WWE women's legends here to announce the picks for round 2. We had WWE Hall of Famer Tori Wilson, and we had WWE Hall of Famer, not because they're stupid, legend Michelle McCool.
She's not in the Hall of Fame?
She is not a Hall of Famer.
Uh-oh.
They said, and legend Michelle McCool. And I'm like, how is she not a Hall of Famer? Like, I get you can't put everybody in the Hall of Fame. I understand that. Michelle McCool 100% deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. In fact, this woman can still go. You know how Trish had that run last year?
Mm-hmm.
Michelle fully. I don't know if y'all saw her in the Rumble. Not this year, but last year.
Wasn't she fighting in Uggs?
Man, in Uggs. Doing hurricanranas and everything else. Look, listen. This woman can still go. Give her a run up to SummerSlam. I don't care. I want to see it.
I'm surprised she wasn't already in, but Hunter, you got to get on that.
She is not a Hall of Famer. Wow. So anyway, it was good seeing them. They look amazing, by the way. And hashtag love Pamela Martinez. I can't do this. Guys, I can't. Charlotte's definitely. I'm just reading some
we can because it's PG. We're not using the alter ego for Bayley.
No, I love some Pamela Martinez. That's what they said. All the men said amen. And some women, amen. Anyway, Michelle McCool.
The women said amen. The men said hallelujah. Blessings, my child. Go with God.
Bayley. Anyway, Michelle McCool and Tori Wilson come out to announce round 2's picks for the WWE 2024 draft. And so for round 2, we had our first pick. Randall Keith Orton was picked by SmackDown. He stays on the blue brand. Actually, sorry, I just realized his comment's still up. Let me go ahead and move that out the way.
So if Randy gets drafted, do the voices come with him?
I think so. They might be on Monday night's draft. I'm not quite sure. We'll find out. Pick number 2 was Braun Breaker to Raw. Great pick for them. Braun Breaker is another one I think is going to be an absolute star. I think he's proven that. So let's see what he can do on the red brand. SmackDown has a huge pickup, in my opinion. I'm excited for her to go there to see what she can do. But SmackDown picks Nia Jax as their 3rd overall pick in round 2. Congratulations to her. Man, I think she's been killing it on Raw. So I am absolutely excited to see what she can do on SmackDown. What do you think?
For Nia to be the 2nd woman drafted, and she's gonna be on the same brand as Bianca and Bailey, wow. I think that's a ringing endorsement for the work that she's been doing since she came back. You hit the nail on the head, where it's like, it's not that her first run was bad, but this is like, you could see a difference. Like, she's got a glow to her, no pun intended, where like everything clicks. Her presentation, mic, in-ring, where it's like, whatever you did,
her confidence is there now. Like, that was missing before to me.
Yeah, like she exudes it, where it's just like, more please.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to see what she can do. Not you with the glow pun after she attacked Naomi, but we're not going to talk about it. Wow. And so I'm excited to see what Nia can do. Even more so, you mentioned Nia being on there with Bailey and Bianca. More so, what intrigues me is that she is on the brand that the Bloodline is on. I'm just saying, you never know where they can go with that. They have yet to bring any females into the Bloodline stories. That could change, folks.
I think it's due, especially when you look at Bobby Lashley's faction has BFAB and the Final Testament. God, I hate that name. Has Scarlett. LWO has Zelina. Legato's got Elektra Lopez. Like, Alpha Academy's got Maxine Dupree. I can't even do it like Sam, but there you go. Like, yeah, Bloodline's kind of due for one.
I'm just saying.
Kind of gonna need that muscle.
You're gonna need that muscle. Nia got some, y'all. She's got some. And the 4th overall pick in round 2 is Miss Watch Me, Liv Morgan. So obviously, Liv Morgan staying on Raw, possibly to continue her Liv Morgan revenge tour, which has been stopped over and over again, which Twitter has absolutely pissed about for 48 hours because she didn't win a title in a random battle royal on Raw.
I mean, she's the queen of 2nd place. She's been in 2nd place the last 2 Royal Rumbles. She was 2nd place in this battle royal. Like, bro, she always comes up. She was 2nd place in the Elimination Chamber. It's like, damn, like, Liv, we love you, but you must love 2nd place.
Stay away from the ring apron, sis.
It's like, what did Brainy say? Almost doesn't count.
Almost there. You're almost there.
You weren't expecting that, were you? I don't think Liv was either.
Nope.
That's why she didn't win.
Nope. Liv Morgan is on the revenge tour, and people got up in arms about the fact that she didn't win a random battle royal on Raw, to the point where they were cussing out the champion who did win, calling her out her name, dragging her family into it, and being absolutely disgusting people because, I don't know, they put the title on somebody who is the biggest star in the women's roster, who obviously will put somebody over. I don't know, maybe Liv. So anyway.
They really came for her family?
Ritch.
IWC, y'all need a scolding and some showers and some deodorant. Like, bro.
Anyway, we won't get into it because we're talking about SmackDown. The point is that Liv will continue her revenge tour. By the way, people, tours tend to have multiple stops. Enjoy the ride. Anyway, congratulations to Liv for being drafted to Raw in the round 2 picks. That's still a great top position to be drafted into and at. So they think very highly of her, regardless of what you guys might think. And so the revenge tour continues, y'all.
And you hit the nail on the head where it's like, people forget, because I know Liv is kind of a little controversial, where like she has a really rabid fan base that really rocks for her. But then, like, the general consensus with wrestling Twitter is kind of like, really, Liv? Like, this is the one that's like, bro, the way WWE loves Liv Morgan, it gives off Alexa Bliss vibes. It's the same thing where, like, they are very, very high on Alexa, where a lot of us were like, really, Alexa? But then you look at the accolades, you look at her resume, you look at everyone she's beat, her title defenses, and it's like, yeah, they really love Alexa. Liv is that right now too, where you look at multi-time tag team champion, SmackDown Women's Champion, the only person that can sit here on
Money in the
any
Bank
roster and say, yo, I've beaten Ronda Rousey twice in
Twice.
title matches.
Twice.
No one else can say that.
And they still want to be like, oh, they don't believe in her and get behind her. And I'm like, she was champion. Like, you guys are acting like she never made, like, she literally won the Money in the Bank briefcase and beat Ronda for the women's championship all on the same night. Like, that's a big deal.
And then on top of that, like, we joke about her being in second place, but look at what I just named off. Back-to-back Royal Rumble, she's the last person to get eliminated before the winner stood tall. Elimination Chamber, she's the last one in there with Becky Lynch.
And there's a reason for that. Like, whether you want it or not, that's what people do. That's why I get so frustrated with people online, because I'm like, do people not understand that being put over does not always mean you're winning? Being put over in a match also means position, also means important positions that they put you in, as in being the second to last. That's an important position to be in, because that means you are now responsible for putting whoever is winning over, and they're putting trust in you to do that, right? And I'm like, that's a very important spot to be in, and they trust Liv with that, and they've trusted her to be champion, and I'm sure they will trust her to be champion again. But people have to trust the process.
Sometimes it's not wins and losses. Like, case in point, look at Solo Sikoa. You and I can count on one hand how many matches Solo has won the last calendar year.
Correct.
And look at where he's at now compared to where he was a year ago.
He's running the goddamn bloodline. Like, people just need to be patient. I think some people were just upset because of the person who won the battle royal. Any person who knows wrestling or pro wrestling or understands the fundamentals of it know exactly why that person won. And it's because she is reliable and she knows how to put people over, whether they win or lose. And I'm not saying that person's name because she's my favorite person in the whole world in wrestling, and people know that. And this show's not about her. So that's the only reason why I'm not mentioning her, because we were talking about SmackDown. Either way, Liv Morgan's revenge tour continues, and people just need to be patient.
No, but we could talk about her because it's relevant because of the fact that Liv got drafted to Raw. We now know, thanks to the rules of the draft, the champions stay in place. So, you know, Becky staying put on Raw with that title, and Liv going to continue that revenge tour on Raw. Maybe she pulls up in France. Maybe she pulls up in all these other locations. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. After the round 2 concluded, we then had a segment where Kayla Braxton came out and she called out the number 1 overall draft pick, the EST, Bianca Belair, where she came. I'm sorry. I'm jumping. My apologies, guys. There was a segment backstage where Solo and the Bloodline showed up late.
Tardy to the party.
Just like color, the people of color. POC time. It's fine. I'm late to everything as well. As you saw, this podcast started.
So I guess Samoan time is just like we could go whenever we want. Thumb wrap not included.
And then get upset when they haven't been drafted yet. He's like, hello? And he's like, well, you showed up late, bro. They don't know what's going on. So Solo and Tama show up late. He's upset to hear from Paul Heyman that they have not been drafted yet. And Paul Heyman says, well, you know, there's some uncertainty here, right? They don't know exactly what they're getting when they draft the Bloodline. You're adding new members. They don't know if it's you, if Tama's part of it, if you're bringing in someone. Like, they don't know what they're getting. So there is some uncertainty there. So they have not drafted you yet. Solo did not want to hear that. And right before he got in Paul Heyman's face, all of a sudden Kevin Owens comes out of absolutely nowhere and attacks Tama and Solo. And they start brawling in the back. And Kevin Owens is pissed. I don't know, maybe because they tried to murder him. So last week, and so
Just a
then
little
cut
bit.
to a segment. My apologies. Where Kayla then is standing out in the crowd, or not on the crowd, out on the ramp, and introduces the first overall draft pick, Bianca Belair, the EST of WWE. And she comes and talks to her and says, congratulations on being the first overall draft pick. She's made history as being the first Black woman to be the first overall draft pick, which is amazing. And only the second woman ever to do it. So she congratulates her. Bianca then goes on to say, she's ready to win those tag titles at Backlash against the Kabuki Warriors. And as she says that, the Kabuki Warriors come out and they start yelling at her. And then Miss Jade Cargill. I like how perfectly that was timed. We did not practice that, y'all. We did not plan that. We did not practice that.
That's, hey, man.
You get it.
It's like I say on TWG Fan Club, J-gasm. She comes out and just like, respectfully. Because I don't want that smoke with her or her husband. It's respectfully.
Ooh, I'm more worried about her than her husband, to be honest with you.
I mean, that man swings a heavy bat for a living. I don't want to smoke with him either. No, thank you.
Correct. Anyway, so Jade came out and they got in each other's faces. They were yelling back and forth. And one of my new favorite things, which are the camera angles and the segment transitions, which are beautiful. As they're yelling at each other, all of a sudden you see Kevin Owens and I think it's Solo, right? Kevin Owens and Solo come out fighting each other, hitting each other. He has Tama, he has Solo. And they come right in between the ladies who are arguing as well, make their way to the ring. And it looks like Kevin Owens is outnumbered. And all of a sudden, you see Randall Keith Orton. His music hits, comes out. He helps Kevin Owens out, evens the odds. Hell of a team, guys. Hell of a team. And what a beautiful transition that was from segment to segment.
It was. And I mean, shout out to the ladies because the ladies were just looking fantastic tonight. All of them. But yeah, I don't mind you jumping segments because it's like, nah, Bianca looked good. We're just like, Ayo. And then Jay came out. I was like, hey, man. Shara la 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 la.
Justin, is that drool on your face?
No, those women are married and I don't want the smoke.
Look, you can look, you just can't touch. Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. Anyway, Misfit Wrestling Podcast just wanted to point out, said Austin was put over twice by Bret Hart by losing. Wrestling 101, folks. You can be put over in loss. And it's going to be okay. Anyway, moving on. I like how they have the little war rooms. And the war rooms are honestly just random, I think, wrestlers from NXT. Most of them, because I didn't recognize anyone but the GMs.
Well, I think the Dudleys in there, and I popped for that. But it was more like, okay, we're gonna show this war room, or we're gonna get more out of this, or you're just gonna cut to it. But then when I'm thinking about it, like the NFL draft does the same thing, where it's like you don't really see the war room unless like someone makes a pick, and then it's like, congratulations, yay, like, give you a hug. Yeah, it's like they're not showing like the war room for like the entire 10 minutes. Like, oh my god, are we trying to trade this pick? Is he gonna be there? What do we do? Let's talk to the owner. Oh man, he don't know what he's doing. I think he's drunk.
Correct. So I actually like the little war rooms. It was random people. Like I said, there were some appearances. Dudley Boys, I think they showed Teddy Long as well in one of them. But anyway, so it is now time for the third round of picks. And who better to present the third round than the Dudley Boys themselves, Devon and Bubba Ray. Correct. Let me get the third round graphic going here. By the way, these graphics do belong to TNT Sports, WWE on TNT Sports. They are not ours. Shout out to them. I just grabbed them from Twitter, for being completely honest. Thank you for that. Round 3. This is one I was kind of disappointed by, for being honest. I wanted LA Knight to go to Raw, but SmackDown drafted him number 1 in round 3. So he is now staying on SmackDown. LA Knight. Yeah.
More like L.A. Reach. Yeah. Because I was like, he got drafted that quickly. I was like, really?
You're surprised
Really?
though?
I was.
Because
Like, I
he
know he's popular. I know he's over, but first guy, round 3.
it's
So
not
it's
even
what?
that. I
Pick
really wanted
9?
him to go to Raw. Like he needs a change of scenery. He's been on SmackDown since he got called up from NXT. When he was Max Dupree, he was on SmackDown. When he changed back to LA Knight, he was on SmackDown. He's gone through all this shit on SmackDown. I'm like, I think it's time to change some scenery because
Well, maybe we may get like a trade on Raw. We haven't gotten like a
there's
trade.
been no trade. Usually they announce those kind of after, like the first once they do Raw's picks, usually that's when they announce that some trades have happened because they have to figure out who got traded, like who's on night 2, and then they'll go, oh, okay.
But you're
After
onto something because when you really sit back and think about it, it's like, yeah, he's really been on SmackDown for a while. Like, he could
two,
use a
two
change of
years, I think.
scenery,
2 years, right?
something like
Um.
that.
So yeah. Anyway, LA Knight was the first pick. Ricochet, Superman or Superman, Spider-Man. I think I called
I
him
mean, that man's just a human superhero.
basically. Ricochet is staying on Raw, which hopefully means that Samantha Irvin as well. I'm completely fine with this. I think Ricochet has a lot more feuds and a lot more he can get out of Raw. And the man's just fantastic, honestly, no matter who he's going against. So good for
Mhm.
him. We then find out that the Bloodline, consisting of Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Paul Heyman, have been drafted to SmackDown, where they will stay. Right now, again, as Paul Heyman said, there's some uncertainty with the Bloodline. We really don't know who's coming, who's going. Jimmy's out injured, but not eligible for the draft for whatever reason. But Seth Rollins was, but we're not going to talk about it. Anyway, congratulations to the Bloodline, I guess. And then our 4th overall pick in round 3 was Sheamus. It's time for Fight Night on Raw. He just returned a week ago.
Hell yeah, man. Burger after burger. I mean, banger after banger.
So many of us relate to the burger after burger. I
Nah,
cannot
salute to
believe
Sheamus, man. It's like, yo, I know y'all fat shamed him and got off those memes, which were hilarious, and good on Sheamus for playing into those and just having some fun with it. But like, that's a big, strong man. I dare you to say that shit to his face.
they would
Especially
never
when
say
you
it to his face. Number
especially when
2,
you watch them Celtic Warrior workouts, I double dare you to say that shit to his face.
correct. I was like, they would never say it to his face. 1. Number 2, this man knows how to exercise and work out. This man knows how to take care of his body. Whatever he was doing for recovery, he was focusing on his recovery and not his shape. Okay. Let's not get that twisted. This man can go back to the gym and be in shape within probably a month. Okay.
And it was what, his neck? Like, you gotta be careful with
Correct.
them type of injuries. Like,
It's not even that. Good for him for focusing on that and eating as many fucking burgers as he wanted. That's perfectly fine. I'm sorry. When y'all have an injury and you're all laid up, please let me know that you're exercising and making sure your abs are in check. Because I doubt that that's your priority. And shame on y'all for calling him out for it and saying, oh, you look different. Oh, you look like you're out of shape. Like, are you kidding me? Where do these people get off? Like, I just don't understand. Like, they could never.
You know where they get off? In their mom's basement, tweeting with their Twitter fingers and shit like that. You Twitter tyrants, get in the gym and do something about it.
I just can't. Like, I just could not imagine telling someone else that they're out of shape when they were recovering from an injury. I don't know.
Especially a WWE superstar, like, bro, are you getting on those rings and taking those bumps? If the answer is no, then that should be the last people you should be calling like out of shape or fat shaming or whatever.
And someone who literally has a YouTube dedicated to exercise. Like, anyway, he did a video saying, watch me. And he was back in the gym going at it. And I'm like,
oh, I'll be watching. I'm an avid fan of Celtic Warrior workouts. I was like,
so
yo,
good.
can you bring that back, please? Because I'll be learning some things from that.
Correct. Hopefully he does. Maybe he does some videos of his comeback, if you will, if you want to call it that. The man didn't even look that out of shape.
He's not even that out of shape.
He just wasn't cut the way he was before, but the man's still in great shape.
Even he explained it. He's like, bro, I came back earlier than expected. Like, I was supposed to come back at a certain time, and they said, nah, we kind of need you now. And it's like, all right, then you're gonna get these rolls. You're gonna get these jelly rolls in the ring.
Man, forget these people. Anyway, he just had some beers while he was out. Y'all need to stop hating. Anyway,
that's right. He did get married recently.
He got married. He's happy. He's recovering. Like, leave that man alone. Mind you, what are you doing? What are you doing in the gym?
I mean, I'm be in the gym. I don't look
Not
like
you.
that.
I'm talking to those people that were fat shaming him. What are you doing?
Oh, they're eating the burgers. Burger at the burger. That's why they pissed.
They probably were eating a burger when they typed it.
It's like, damn it, Chambers, that's my job.
As someone who's been big my whole life, I understand that I have always had body issues. I at one point had commented on somebody's body, and I have never done it again because I'm like, that's my own problem. That I had to work out with myself, and I lost 98 pounds and continue to maintain that and build muscle. But that's something I had to look within. And I'm like, and I'm assuming these people have the same issue. And it's like, don't do that.
98 pounds is no joke. As someone that's lost 75, 80 pounds in these last 7 months, like to do that type of work, and that takes months and even like year plus of like dedication and locking in. Like, that's not easy, man.
It's been over a year. It takes a lot of, especially if you're not, as an adult woman, even as a kid, exercise was not a big thing to me. Health was not a big thing to me. Like, yeah, they tell you all these things, but I was not raised that way. Nothing against my parents, but we weren't super athletes. I was not an athletic person. So it was not normal for me to go running and go walking. And like, it takes thought and process and planning for me. It doesn't just come naturally for me. I have to physically and mentally prepare myself and go, okay, I need to do this. I got to get up. I have to find my motivation. Most of these WWE superstars are kind of machines in the way that they train and work out, and because they know that's what they have to do to stay in ring shape. So it's just become part of their lifestyle. Some have been doing it their whole lives.
I don't know how they do it. It's like, you guys wrestle, you travel, you do media, you do meet and greets, you do all types of other stuff, and then you still got to find time to work out. Like, you know how like the abundance of W superstars that have said like they've done midnight workouts? Yeah. And even if it's like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, they got to get it in.
And they said they have to get it in. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's a mentality thing. It's just part of their day. Just like us getting up and eating breakfast, that's a normal thing for them. Like, I just have to get up and work out right now. Like, to me, that sounds horrible. And
it's like, I just got off a 7-hour flight. Like, I'm tired, but I still got to go work out. And it's like, what?
Correct. So anyway, the point being is that
don't fat shame that man.
Don't fat shame or body shame or call any of these people out on what they look like, because unless you do what they do, you have nothing to say, is what I'm trying to say. So anyway, kudos to Sheamus, 4th overall pick in round 3. So next up, we had Tiffany Stratton versus Naomi, and they had Bayley on commentary for this. Tiffany and Naomi are just great athletes in general, both of them. And so honestly, this probably could have gone on for a long time and it would have been perfectly fine. There is one part where Naomi does the splits, jumps off the rope and does
she does like a falling split on Tiffany Stratton. Yeah. Does a full split laying on top of her. He's like, Naomi time.
Yes. And she says Naomi time, and I absolutely popped. I was like, wow. Either way, these women are amazing. The match did not have a conclusion. We did not have a winner. Why? Because Nia Jax came out and attacked Bayley at the commentary table, and then went after Naomi. And so there was actually a tweet earlier from Tiffany Stratton responding to Lena, saying, "You're the only person I can rely on." And that was earlier this morning. Now, if you follow along, most of us know that they've become really good friends and travel buddies, apparently, non-kayfabe. So I think most people kind of brush this off as like, oh, them just interacting. But it looks like maybe Tiffany might have some muscle back up here, in Nia possibly. So Nia is now on SmackDown with them. So I am very curious to see where she plays into this, if she's kind of Tiffany's muscle going forward. But she seemed to help Tiffany here. It was a DQ match. And so later, Nick Aldis did announce that at Backlash, it'll be Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton versus Bayley for the WWE Women's Championship. Triple
If
threat.
I'm Bailey, I'm filing a grievance. What the hell? I gotta get a triple threat out of this? Really?
She probably asked for it, to be honest with you.
But then on top of that, triple threat means I lose champion's advantage. Like, I don't gotta get pinned to lose my title.
Correct.
Really, Nick Aldis? Ugh.
I mean, do we really think Bayley's gonna be dropping the title this soon, guys?
She better now. I'll be upset.
Someone's in that match to take a pin. Is it Naomi or is it Tiffany? I don't know. It needs to be. It should be Tiffany.
It's a triple threat. You can't DQ that either.
You cannot DQ that, which means Nia Jax most likely will show up in France.
Hey, man. Nia learned the golden rule. Establish dominance. That's what she did. I'm drafted to SmackDown. I'm going to establish my dominance and beat the hell out of the champion and challenger, Naomi.
Correct. On draft night. Like, she didn't even wait till, like, the next SmackDown. She was like, F all y'all. I'm going to go ahead and just tag everybody.
Yeah, see, Naomi's going to remember that at the next family function. Like, man, you didn't have to pull up on SmackDown, beat my ass, too. Really?
That's where I'm kind of hoping this is headed. So I'm assuming Bayley retains. She might go into a program with Tiffany by herself. And then Naomi and Nia Jax get to feud. Because I want to see it.
I'm with it.
I'm just saying.
Just remember, y'all got to spend Thanksgiving together.
Correct. This is your fam, y'all. This is your fam. Next, we go into your favorite groups, the Final Testament. Bless. The Final Testament backstage, and Karrion Kross is going off and saying the violence will continue until we get what we want. They want to know where they're drafted. They don't care where they're drafted because they're just going to keep attacking people in the back. I think they attacked Pete Dunne and
New Cash Republic. Yeah, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate.
Another tag team name that could really be shortened. We'll go on.
The Final Testament. He was doing all that promo. You know what it gave me? Biblical boredom. That's what I get when I look at Final Testament. Like, really? Karrion Kross ain't been the same since Adam Cole read him for the Riot Act in NXT. He ain't been the same, man. That man grew out his hair. He shaved his hair. He's going through some things. Scarlett, help him out with that. Final Testament ain't it.
I don't know what to do. Because I love Razor and
oh, you like the Authors of Pain?
I love the Authors of Pain. But I feel like when they were with Seth doing that whole ministry thing, that shit rocked. Loved it. Them with Karrion Kross is just not working for me, and I don't know.
It's giving off Bebop and Rocksteady vibes. If you know Ninja Turtles, you know what I'm talking about.
It really does. Oh my god! Now that you said it,
it's Master Shredder giving the master plan, and here comes Bebop and Rocksteady about to fight everyone. Like, really? Who asked for this?
It really does. Oh my god! I need to pull up a picture. Oh god!
Things you can't unsee.
Now that you said it, I can't unsee it. Oh my god! Wow, Justin, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
After that
is my Final Testament.
After that unmoving promo from the Final Testament, we then go into our fourth round of picks, where we have the wonderful and amazing JBL and Teddy Long to tell us who's going one-on-one with the Undertaker.
Hold on a minute, player. Could you gotten JBL out of there? JBL came out, and I was like, I'm going to the bathroom. I don't care about this man. Moo. That's your cue. Get out of here, JBL.
Bye, bro. Bye. So they come out to do the 4th round of picks, which I will put up on the screen now. 1 second, everybody. 1 second. 4th round. First overall pick in the 4th round was the phenomenal AJ Styles to SmackDown. I don't think anyone was shocked by this. He's obviously feuding with the champion on SmackDown right now, Cody Rhodes. So I did not expect him to move. He's there. I don't know. Like, what's going on with Meechin and the bald guys? Like, what's going on?
The Good Brothers.
Them.
The bald guys. AKA thing 1 and thing 2. Small one, big one.
They do nothing. They're like AOP right now to me. Like they don't serve a purpose. With AJ Styles, or I don't know. I don't know what to do with them.
I don't know what to do with them either. Meechin, I hope lands on her feet, because
I hope they send her to Raw. Actually, to be honest, to just all new, just refresh.
Yeah, I rock with Mia Yim. Like,
I love Mia.
Do good by her.
I love Mia, and I told her at Mania, I was like, "This is your time. I want you to shine." Like, I was not trying to rhyme. Oh my god.
I see what you did there, and it was glorious. Well done.
I was not even trying there, and it just all came out like a rhyme. Anyway, I told her hashtag bars. Hypes the rapper. Lord.
Hey,
anyway,
man, you heard about that hypes train? Let's get it. Rhyme and shine.
I had told her that I believe in her, and I was like, I really want you to shine. I hope they give you the time. Oh my god, this is not. I hope it didn't come out like this when I was telling her. She's probably like, did she come up with a whole rhyme right now for me? Anyway, I believe in her, and I want to see her succeed. And I really
give her a whole haiku at WrestleMania. Quote the Stephanie. Do I want to see you in catering? Nevermore. Do I want to see you in NXT? Nevermore. Folklore in 7 years ago. Want me again to prosper.
Too sweet. Okay. Anyway. Whew. I cannot do this. Where are we at? Oh, I was just trying to figure out AJ Styles on SmackDown. Are we still staying with the whole group? Is the group splitting? I guess we'll find out. Again, I'm hoping Meechin gets sent to Raw. I think Becky had mentioned really wanting to fight her in the interview, and so I'm kind of hoping she'll go there and kind of feud with her. So I think that would be a fantastic feud and match, and I think it could really hype me in a big way. So I'd love to see her go over there, but we'll see. The second overall pick in round 4 went to Alpha Academy. This is an interesting one because Chad Gable is an asshole who I'm rooting for.
Thank you.
And they're not splitting up Alpha Academy. It seems that he is trying to persuade them into new ways by telling them off, apparently, as he did last Monday. I don't know. What do you think? They're keeping them together, it looks like. They drafted them together.
I mean, tell them off. I mean, it worked for Beatrix Kiddo and Kill Bill when she went to the Drunken Master, and he was hitting her and berating her, but you know what? Made her lethal.
I mean, and then I don't know if you saw like Maxine in the Battle Royal when she was going off, and then she's like, yeah, tell Gable to run the tape. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, okay. Maybe this brings out a new edgier and fun or badass Maxine. You never know.
I'm with it.
Let's
we've been watching her work in the Dungeon 2.0 on IG and all the social media clips, so maybe we got more in store.
She's been working her ass off, and she showed off in that Battle Royal. I'm not even mad about it. I'm like, go ahead, girl. The third overall pick, which was to me a shocker, to be honest with you, one I'm excited about, but a shocker, was Andrade being drafted. He is currently on Raw. He's now been drafted to SmackDown. What did I tell y'all? I tweeted earlier to Zelina. Find Andrade. Take over.
You know what we call that, Steph? Manifesting.
Correct. And now Andrade is on the same brand as, well, unless they move Zelina, they have not drafted her yet. So who knows? I'd say that, and then she might move. But as of right now, he's on the same brand as Zelina. I would love to see him reunited. I don't necessarily need him to be an LWO or any other Hispanic faction. While I'm all for the factions, keeping the brothers together and the Latinos and Latinas together, it's amazing. But they also are allowed to have their own stories and ways away from everybody else. And I think Andrade can hold his own. And Zelina, let's just be real, Andrade and Zelina are an amazing pair together. They're just great to watch. So good, happy to kind of see Andrade move and see what happens there on SmackDown. That does tell me that possibly when Charlotte Flair comes back, though, she will also probably be on SmackDown, is my guess. So we will see. And probably the biggest shocker of the night, which I don't think anybody was expecting at all, was Raw's 4th overall pick in round 4, the very last pick of the night, came from NXT, a call-up. I don't think most people were expecting. So this was actually pretty cool to see. But Kiana James from NXT got called up. She is a former NXT Women's Tag Team Champion. She signed with NXT just 2 years ago. And her signature moves are the 401k and Deal Breaker. How are you feeling, man? I'll be honest. I did not expect Kiana James out of all the people they could have called up. I was not expecting her. I was expecting maybe a JC Jane, a Gigi Dolan. I was not expecting Kiana James. So how do you feel about it?
I was shocked. I was like, wait, say that name again. And they show the graphic. I was like, wait, what? Kiana now? I was like, she was not on my draft board. And it's not shade to her. It's just because those NXT women have been cooking for a year. They've been doing fantastic work. But you look at the talent that we have on the main roster and you look at the names that haven't been called yet. For Kiana to go there, it's like, whoa.
That's true.
That's a statement.
You haven't had Meechin called yet. You haven't had Natalia called yet. Chelsea Green. Well, a lot of people also aren't eligible till Monday, and I get that. But there's still a lot of big names that weren't eligible or were eligible. Let me see. Hold on. Now I just want to look.
Yeah, now we gotta do our Googles because it's like, wait, what's the eligibility? Because if there are people that were still eligible and Kiana still went here, that's even more shocking. That's like, yo, they're trying to tell us something here.
All right, so tonight, Meechin was available. Zoe Stark was available. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn were available. Maxine, Bianca, Nia, Liv, Shayna were available. And Kiana got picked before Meechin, Zoe Stark, Shayna, Alba, and Isla Dawn.
Interessante. The plot thickens.
So, again, we're not shading Kiana James at all. I'm very happy for her. I am proud of her. But for them to put her there, I think more so is telling us kind of what they're seeing in her. So,
it's not shade, it's flowers, because it's like, look at the names you leapfrog to get drafted, and they made a big deal of like, not only we drafting you, we have the camera in NXT. You got everyone sitting there, Trek and Roxanne, all your champions are sitting right there. When I have you do the interview in front of everyone, it's almost like a little graduation present. We're making this like a really big deal for you. That's
the Raw hat, Shawn Michaels coming out and greeting her. During the interview, looked like he whispered something to her, probably words of encouragement, just saying like he's proud of her. Like, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. And to Jeffrey's point, she was tagging with Izzy. So I'm shocked. I was shocked. I'll be honest. I was just shocked. I was not.
Then again, if we look at how they've positioned all the NXT kids tonight with Mella, with Braun Toretto, and then Kiana James, it's like they made a real emphasis of like, we're gonna really showcase these people. We got Carmelo and Braun in matches, and Kiana we got front and center in NXT, and gave her like her moment, her promo, and everything.
I'm excited for her. This is awesome. I'm excited for her. I'm excited to see where it goes. For her, I'm assuming they might have a story already lined up for her. So we'll see. Jeffrey Young thinks the Bloodline's going to have some tricks up their sleeves. I think Nia Jax might be one of them, guys.
I mean, bro, you can't trust a man that wraps his thumb. Like, beware the thumb. Thumbing optional. Like, when that man comes around with a wrapped thumb, all bets are off, man.
It's going to be a problem. So that actually wrapped up all 4 rounds of the night 1 draft. I don't know. What are you thinking overall? Strong night 1? And who won night 1? SmackDown or Raw? In your opinion?
Who won night 1? Our first glance and re-looking at some of these draft picks, I want to say SmackDown, man. You got Bianca, you got Mello, you got Randy, you got Nia, you got LA Knight, you got the entire Bloodline, AJ Styles and Andrade. You got a lot of heavy hitters right out the gate.
Guys, we have updates. The draft is continuing just off TV. So they've announced some more picks here. To SmackDown is Cedric Alexander. Hold on. Cedric Alexander and Ashante the Adonis. They are headed to SmackDown. I think they were already on SmackDown, right?
I believe so, but we saw Cedric today, but it was grand opening, grand closing. I felt the way about that.
Correct.
I was like, damn it, Braun. That man had a family. You know what that means.
Correct.
Go get a Corona and chill.
To Raw is the unholy union of Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. They are drafted as a tag team to Raw. So they were on SmackDown before, so that's a pickup for Raw. On SmackDown, Baron Corbin has been drafted to SmackDown. So him and Braun Breaker are officially split up. Braun Breaker's on Raw. Baron Corbin's on SmackDown. So he is back on main roster. And anyone who has followed me for a long time knows how much I love me some Baron Corbin. And I'm excited.
He is an honorary Puerto Rican, but why do they use this face for this graphic?
Do you see it?
Oh my God. That man looks like he's got to take the meanest number 2.
He's all,
It's like, constipation.
I'm different. I don't have that end of days gimmick anymore. To Raw by himself is Ivar. So Ivar was already on Raw, but he was technically a tag team before. He has now been drafted by himself. And he stays on Raw, but he's been drafted by himself. So that is a keep for Raw. The OC being drafted together. Damn it. Luke Gallows, Carlos Anderson, and Meechin have all been drafted to SmackDown, so they will stay on the blue brand with AJ Styles. Not gonna lie, low-key upset. We literally just talked about this. I wanted Meechin kind of by herself over on Raw. I feel like she could do a lot more over there.
Nah, I'm making this face because, wait a minute, Joseph. Valhalla's pregnant? She's preggers again?
Yeah, that was announced yesterday that they are expecting their second child.
Oh, snap.
Her and Eric. So congratulations to the Vikings on their second baby.
Hey, man.
Good for them.
Vikings get down.
Also staying on Raw as an individual, Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. Both staying on Raw as of now. And I believe that is the latest update. I'm just double checking.
So basically, it feels like these picks are chalk, with the exception of Baron Corbin now coming up to NXT, from NXT to SmackDown again.
Yes, and Isla Dawn and Alba moving to Raw was a pickup, I guess, if you will. And Ivar being by himself. Now, I know Eric's injured, but now he's also expecting a baby, so I don't know if he's just going to be out extra time. But I'm completely okay. I'm part of Ivar Nation. I believe in this man. I've never seen a big man move like this, aside from Keith Lee. I am on board with Ivar Nation. I hope he gets some Intercontinental, US, whatever title at some point. I think it's phenomenal.
And Fire and Dawn going to Raw makes sense, because if you really look at how Raw's been positioned these last couple of weeks, they've been really showcasing that women's tag team division. and it makes sense to freshen that up and move over those two girls.
That, and they have the time on Raw. They have the time, you know? MDB said, you ain't never seen Vader. I'm talking about in the modern era, bro. Okay? Right now. I have not seen a big man move like that recently in the last, I don't know, 10 years since Keith Lee, the way Ivar moves. Bronson Reed's there, but I think the way Ivar can get on the top rope and doing backflips, and I'm sorry, this man to me is like phenomenal.
He's a Viking unicorn.
It's a Viking
that's
unicorn.
an
oxymoron. Let me get him a little horn.
He is. It's like him, Dijak is like, these are big guys that do not move like their size.
That
and
is
you watch
someone
them wrestle.
I want to move up. Now you said it. I want to see Dijak back on main roster with actual direction, not wearing a mask or a black hoodie.
Oh my God. Why do we have to bring up Retribution? Even Retribution doesn't want to bring
say
up Retribution.
The name. You said the name.
I did. I'm sorry. It's like Candyman. We don't acknowledge it. Don't say the name.
We don't acknowledge it. If you say the name, they come back.
He's Dijak Cabretti. Damn it. Hey, if you've ever seen Cobra, that is Dijak to a T.
Correct. So sorry, we kind of interrupted our recap real quick to give you those updates on the more current picks.
I mean, we kind of needed to because that's still draft related.
It is draft related. So you guys are welcome. See, look at me with the breaking news. So look at us. Look at us. Breaking news on the live stream. You got it right here first, or you probably saw your timeline feeds first, whatever. We're at the last main event match anyway. We had the first round draft pick in Carmelo Hayes versus the what do they call him? Undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes. Yay!
Oh, so no more Universal.
They dropped Universal. It is undisputed WWE champion.
I hated that name, Universal. I was like, what's next? Extraterrestrial champion?
Don't give them any ideas, Justin. Don't give them any ideas.
No.
They'll show up with the extraterrestrial title.
These titles and these names and these belts make sense. Before, it was just like, oh my God, Universal. Ugh.
But I know you were popping for that 24/7 title. Anyway, Carmelo versus Cody Rhodes in the main event. So Carmelo can show him that he is him. And boy, did he show the F out. Look, I mean, I don't think anyone's surprised that these two absolutely cooked. Instant great match. And I can't say enough great things about Carmelo Hayes. I followed him for quite some time. He followed me back like a year and a half ago, and I about screamed. And I have been following him ever since, but I think a lot of us have just watched this man blossom through NXT and beyond. And I couldn't be prouder of him, man. Like, and the way they're propping him up is truly in the way that you really feel that he's going to be a star. I feel like they're treating him the same way they treated Bianca when she got to main roster, if that makes any sense. Like, she's a big deal. And they're treating him, I feel like he's a big deal. A lot of the time with Black wrestlers, I feel like they kind of fall into a void sometimes, especially in the Vince McMahon era.
That name. Mr. Redacted.
In the redacted era of wrestling, of WWE, I feel like either he was behind you or he wasn't. And obviously we know it took a very long time to even have a Black champion, world champion. And so it just, again, the way they present Bianca Belair as a top star, I feel like they are going to be presenting Carmelo the same way, where he doesn't just fall into a void of, I hate to say it, but the void that kind of Cedric Alexander fell into. And do you see what I'm saying? Like, they just kind of, and they were under Redacted's booking for so long. I feel like they just kind of fell into that void, which sucks because they're so talented.
But I think Melo might get it faster than Bianca, because if you look back, like, Bianca made like a statement when she debuted, but then she kind of like they let her simmer for a while during that pandemic era. It's like, all right, you get
They
to face
did.
the Zelina, but fall back because that was the time of the golden role models
It
running
was.
everything, the Kabuki Warriors and Asuka. So Bianca
Yep.
didn't really get bubbling till after Sasha became champion, and then Bailey kind
Mhm.
of directed her attention to other things, and that's when we started getting Bianca and Bailey, and then it's like, all right, let's start building Bianca up.
And then they had the Bianca Rhea final spots in that Rumble, and I feel like after that, she just kind of went.
Yeah, the rocket was off, but they let her like simmer for
They
like a
did.
couple months before they're
They
like, all
did.
right, now that Sasha's champion and we gotta move Bailey elsewhere, now let's start working with Bianca. So I think Mello might get a little bit quicker push just because of like, Cody needs people to face over there.
Yeah.
He's not
So I was
losing
gonna
that title
ask.
anytime soon.
I was gonna ask, who do you want to see? Obviously, they did this on for a reason, right? I don't think Carmelo is going to continue to go after Cody now. I think it will be a future title match between him and Carmelo at a bigger pay per view once Carmelo has some steam under his lid, if you will, on main roster. But who would you want to see Carmelo go against first? Assuming he's going to stay heel, um, who would you want to see him feuding with? There's a name that pops out to me right away um, for him, but I just want to see what you think.
All right, if he's staying heel, then I kind of want him to go against Rey Mysterio. Like, I want to see how you handle yourself against a proven veteran, a pure meat babyface that works great matches, even at his age where he can still go.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how you figure with this and then go from there.
I didn't even think of Ray, and I just absolutely got so excited when you said that. The name I was thinking of was actually Randy Orton. I think
Ooh.
that Mello could hit. I think Randy is the perfect opponent for Carmelo. The way Randy puts people over in matches, especially a worker like Mello, I just think it would be an instant classic. I think they could do some magic together. But to your point, I think Rey Mysterio would also be phenomenal. AJ Styles would be phenomenal. No pun intended. I just think there's um, a lot of great stuff he can do on SmackDown with the way the rosters are currently looking, without even knowing the final rosters yet. I think they could do some great things.
Shit, you could do him and Andrade.
Shit. Listen.
Ooh.
Listen.
Can we hold off on that match till summer when they come back to the East Coast so I could be there for one of those? That'd be nice. Thank you, WWE.
Don't do that feud yet. Don't do it in Paris. Don't do or France. Don't do it in Scotland. They're going to Scotland, I think.
Classic
Gas,
Castle, yeah, Scotland.
Glasgow.
Glasgow, Scotland, aka where Drew
Glasgow.
McIntyre learned how to hump tables. Yeah, we're not letting that go, Drew. I know you've been doing
Not
some great
letting
work.
it go, bro.
You've been doing some great work trolling on social media, but nah, we getting these jokes off over 5 minutes, cause bro, really?
And that's the crazy part about these rosters. Like, there's a lot of people that still have to come back. CM Punk has to come back from injury. Seth Rollins will come back from injury. Rhea Ripley will come back from injury. Sonya Deville is coming back from like. There's so Carmella's coming back from leave. Alexa Bliss will come back from leave. Like, it's actually crazy how stacked both rosters are going to be when you consider all the people returning as well. So we'll see. Again, this match was great. It ended clean. Cody beat him clean. I think that's exactly what should have happened. However, Carmelo was put over and lost. If you didn't know who he was, you now have a great idea that this man is going to do great things. And then after, as we were closing and Cody is in the ring with his title, AJ Styles sneaks into the ring and they have a stare down. They still have not touched. Just staring at each other. And we will see them in France. I think that's in not this weekend, but next weekend, right?
Next weekend.
Okay. It's at 10 a.m. for me. No, it's at like 7 a.m. for me. It's 10 a.m. Eastern, I think.
So just like the foodies, I wake up and it's like, ooh, wrestling.
I'm
Thank
like,
you.
ooh, brunch. Yeah.
It's like, yes.
I'm gonna
Unlike
get my mimosa on. I'm gonna get my
unlike
mimosa.
Elimination Chamber, I was like, no, I'm going to sleep. F this.
That was at 3. That was at 2:00 in the morning for me. 2.
It's funny. I was like, I'm not staying up for this shit. But then if it's like New Japan, I'm like, oh, I'll gladly stay up for this. Let's go.
And then everyone making fun of us because we're complaining about staying up until 2 in the night.
I know, right?
How do you think we feel about every single pay-per-view for the last 20 years? I'm like, sorry.
It's like, too bad, so sad. Go take a nap. I wake up.
I'll be all right. They're like, all right, play the fiddle. Anyway,
yeah, it's like we're spoiled, and sometimes it's like, yeah, we gotta get humbled.
Joseph said it's 10 a.m. for me. Oh, it's 1 p.m. Eastern. Oh, okay. So yeah, so it's 10 a.m. for me. Oh, that's good.
Oh, that's what's up.
I mean, that's still morning. That's brunch time. I'm gonna have my mimosa ready. Okay. Well, that wraps up SmackDown. What a night 1 draft. I agree with Justin. I think SmackDown has edged out Raw a bit here in the draft pool of picks that they have had so far. I would say continue watching WWE's Twitter feed because I think they're continuing doing some picks through the weekend, possibly even. So I guess we'll see. Justin, thank you so much for filling in for Miss Krssi. If you guys want to support us, please go to slamchats.com. You can donate there and help us, promote us, whatever. If you love us, please do that. Justin, where can they find you throughout the week?
You can find me on all social media platforms at It's Justin Ritch. You can find me Wednesday nights live 7 p.m. Eastern on Those Wrestling Girls Twitch channel for TWG Fan Club, myself, Queen PR, Brian H. Waters, and CNO Beat, where we talk all things wrestling just in general, not just the overall reviews and stuff like that. Tuesday nights, you can catch me at Twitter Spaces on Black Wrestling's handle for Turnbuckle Talk, aka The Buckle, myself, Mimi, and Corey. We talk all things wrestling. You can catch me from time to time on True Hill Heat Sports and True Hill Heat Wrestling. Both those channels are located on YouTube, where we talk sports, wrestling, and all that fun stuff. I was just on there the other night doing round 1 of the NFL draft, live reactions to the picks and stuff like that. So you see me pop up over there for sports related or wrestling related stuff.
Yep.
And on top of that, your boy's got a YouTube channel where he throws out some wrestling reviews from time to time. We're going to start firing that back up soon. So stay tuned. We here, we outside, we active. Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad you're here. Shout out to the Wrestling Girls. Absolutely love them. And their Wednesday night show is so much fun because, to his point, it's not just wrestling. They do talk about life. They do talk about real life stuff. They do get into the nitty gritty of things. And it's just a great chat, to be honest. It's a chat. It's funny. I love it. I love it. I love what you guys do. And Turnbuckle Talk, right? I'm saying that right?
Turnbuckle Talk or The Buckle?
That's actually where I met you. I met him in Spaces during one of the Turnbuckle Tuesdays. And so that's kind of how I even found out of Justin at all. And I started following him from there because it's, again, another fun chat that just happens on Tuesdays. I can't join as much anymore because it happens kind of early for me on the West Coast. I'm typically still at work, but if I can join, I always try. Because again, it's always a great conversation and a great talk. And just to wrap up, before I do, I just would like to send my condolences, and I think Justin does as well, to someone that the wrestling community lost recently, and that's Trey. I think just seeing people's reactions to his loss. I don't know what happened. It doesn't matter what happened. It's a huge loss for the community. I did not know him personally. A lot of people did. We were mutuals on Twitter. We had talked or commented on each other's stuff here and there. But I knew of him. I knew of the work he did, and I knew he was a positive light in the wrestling community. And a lot of people have been affected by his loss. And so I just want to send out my love and my condolences and my prayers to his family and friends and everyone in the wrestling community that his loss has affected. Because one thing as humans, is that you always hope, whether it's in wrestling or in life in general, is that you want to touch other people's lives positively in some way. And that you hope that one day when you are gone, you have changed someone's life, you have improved someone's life, and that you've imprinted on that person's life in a positive way, that when you are gone, you are always remembered. And I have seen nothing but an outpouring of love and appreciation from wrestlers, from fellow media members, friends, family, about how wonderful a person he was. And so I just needed to say that before we wrapped up, that I do send my love to all those people his passing has affected, and his family and his kid. I believe he was a father as well. And that's as a parent, that's hard. That's hard. Justin, I don't know if you want to say anything.
I mean, I echo the same sentiments. It's like I didn't get to have a lot of conversation with him, but I knew of him. We've crossed certain paths at times. But to see the outpouring love that he's gotten from like everybody just shows like the type of legacy he's left behind. And it's things like this, like I'm thankful for like Black wrestling doing their space the other night, where everyone got to tell stories about him, and you get to hear about all the wonderful things he's done and how the impact that he's had on people's lives and stuff like that. Where it's like, damn, he really left like a great legacy behind, and it sucks to see someone pass away like that. You know, grief is hard; it comes in waves and stuff like that, and everyone takes it different. So if anything, is just a reminder of like tomorrow's not promised, and always like reach out when you're going through stuff and tell people you love them and give them their flowers while they're here. But
Yeah.
man, what a
Yeah.
legacy he left behind. And again, prayers, condolences, and love to the family and friends of him.
And for those of you, his name's Trey, but I think some of you might just know him by his @ So I will mention that his @ is @ We Love Wrestling 1. So if you ever interacted with him, chatted with him, whatever it may be, unfortunately he did pass away. And again, the wrestling community lost a great person in soul in him. But we remember him, and hopefully people live on through his legacy and kind of what he brought to wrestling in the wrestling community, which is positivity and love. And he absolutely loved pro wrestling in every way, and tried to touch as many people's lives as he possibly could. So just remember him for that, and continue to hopefully also be just as positive. And I know a lot of people, and Joseph just said he was just at Mission Pro Wrestling at WrestleMania, and other places. I know a lot of people just saw him at WrestleMania.
He was at the brunch with us, man.
Yeah, like a lot of people just saw him last week, or 3 weekends ago, excuse me, just as recently as last weekend. So again, life is not promised, guys. Just stay true to yourself, be positive, touch people's lives as positively as you can, and just be true to yourself. But with that being said, thank you so much for joining us here on Know Your Role, the SmackDown post show here on BodySlamNet. Please go like, subscribe, follow. You can find me at Stephanie Hypes on Twitter, X, whatever you're calling it, Instagram at Stephanie Hypes with 2 S's. I do have a YouTube channel that I'm also reinvigorating now that I have my own space to actually do streams and stuff. It's Stephanie Hypes on YouTube. So go follow me there and just look for fun content. But thank you for joining us again, Justin. Thank you for filling in for Miss Krssi. You have been amazing. Great chat. And I hope to have you back on again, even as a third guest. Even if Miss Krssi is here, I'm sure she'd love to have you on. So if the time's right and you have the time, we'd love to have you back.
I'm always down. You know where to find me.
Absolutely.
Slide into DMs.
Hey, Justin, what you doing?
Nothing, girl. What you doing?
Are you busy Friday? Because no, but chat champion of the week, Justin. Just so you know, we pick one every week out of the chat. They don't get anything per se, but big kudos and a shout out from us. But I really do feel like Jeffrey has been amazing tonight. Jeffrey
Salute.
Reimer.
That's the man.
Yes, he has been amazing in the chat tonight. So you are our chat champion of the week, sir.
We acknowledge you.
We acknowledge you. Thank you for always being supportive. This man's always in the chat almost every Friday, and I just appreciate you. So thank you guys. Have a great night, and let's stay tuned for night 2 of the draft on Monday.